Standing underneath the lights, look into each other's eyes. Tired snowflakes are coming down, collapse into water when they hit the ground. I hear the sound of empty streets. Yesterday has gone to sleep, so all that's left is you and me. I can promise you're the only thing I see. Hold my hand and hear the words I say. Close your eyes and let us fade away. Build a secret place for you and me, and let our minds be caught up in a dream. Quiet voices in the night, time is running out of sight. A lonely wind is passing by, tries to carry all the whispers that it finds. The walls are listening when we talk, making echoes as we walk. There's no one left but you and me. It's like a made-up place that only we can see. Hold my hand and hear the words I say. Close your eyes and let us fade away. Build a secret place for you and me. Let our minds be caught up in a dream. Standing underneath the lights, look into each other's eyes. There's no one left but you and me. It's like a made-up place that only we can see.
Hey guys, so I got the clothes folded. You didn't know I washed those. I'll tell you about that in a minute. Got the clothes folded, got more clothes in the dryer. So last night, let's talk about last night. Last night after I finished recording and I got my shower and Jeff went to work, I cleaned the kitchen up, made sure there was no hand wash dishes or anything in the sink, and then did all that stuff. And I was sitting here and I watched a little bit of Netflix for the first time in a very long time. I watched the rest of a series I had started watching. I've watched all 4 seasons so far, and at first I thought it was such a cute show. There were some things about it I didn't like, but most overall, you know, it was a pretty good little show. And then, like last night, I watched the last few episodes. It had been months since I watched any of it. And I'm sitting there thinking, why did I like this show? I mean, it's okay, but why would I put my time into it? Because, I don't know, it just felt like blah. I don't know. It just didn't feel like something I wanted to waste my time on, but I finished watching it because I wanted to know what happened. Anyways, it's called Virgin River. And I mean, it's an okay show. It has things in it I don't agree with, but it's an okay show on Netflix. It's not absolutely terrible, but there's some things in it I don't like. I guess you'd say it was a soap opera though. I mean, kinda. I guess. I don't know. Anywho, I was sitting here and I was doing all of that, and then I thought, well, tomorrow's sheet and towel day. If I go ahead and wash the sheets, I don't have to wait until Jeff gets up. I mean, it wasn't logical, but I had energy and my back felt good. And I was okay, you know. So I thought, I'm going to go ahead and wash and dry the sheets. I've got time before I go to bed. So I washed them last night and I dried them and I put them back on the bed. It was so nice sleeping in the clean sheets. And Jeff enjoyed it this morning, or he's still asleep, but he enjoyed it whenever he got in bed this morning. I said, you notice anything? He said, the sheets feel nice. They feel nice. Because I know it's not only me, but fresh, crisp sheets just feel so nice. And that's one reason why I thought about just washing the sheets every day, or else putting new ones on every day. I mean, I really don't want to do that, but I do make the bed every day, so, and I pretty much strip back everything except the fitted sheet. And I don't take the pillowcases off, but I do readjust them. So I'm pretty much remaking the whole entire bed every day anyway, except the fitted sheet and pillowcases. So it's not much more to do the rest. But anyway, I'm not going there. I have thought about doing it twice a week though. What's happening? I didn't do anything with my hair except pull it back and there it goes. Anyway, so I washed and dried the sheets and put them back on the bed. And while the sheets were drying, I went ahead and threw that load of clothes that you just saw me fold. I threw those in the washer. And then after the sheets were done drying, I dried those. And then I got the towel load ready to go for this morning, because by then, by the time it was time to do the towels, I just was about ready to go to bed, and I didn't want to hear the washing machine while I was sleeping. Funny thing is, if you close the bedroom door, you can't really hear the washing machine. But if it's open, which is how I sleep, you can hear it. So I just got it ready to go, and then this morning Jeff just threw all the rest of the stuff into the washing machine. And I washed the towels, and they're drying now. So I'll be putting those away later, or I'm just going to hang them back up, except a few. There are a few in there that are like kitchen things. And then there's a couple that Julie Marie ended up using yesterday, because with her G-tube, she sometimes, I think it's her G-tube, it may be her TPN, I'm not sure which one though, don't quote me on it, but I think it's her G-tube. Sometimes she'll throw up. And a lot of babies that have G-tubes, this happens. A lot of children, from what I understand. Judy knows a whole lot about it, so this happens. It's normal. She actually doesn't throw up as much as some children do, which her doctor thinks is great. She is on a medication to try to help it, but it still happens. But anyway, there are a couple towels that I have. I always keep, whenever she's coming, I keep a couple towels in here just in case, just so she doesn't get everything on her clothes and stuff. And it's not like spitting up like a normal baby would spit up. It's a lot more. But anyway, it happens. She gets a little upset, and then she gets right back to her happy, cheerful self. And there's nothing we can do about it. There's nothing her parents can do. They're doing all they can, put it that way. So anyway, I wanted to tell y'all about something that's so cute that she does. Whenever she's here, I put this chair over there. You can't see that spot, but anyway, like I told y'all, we do a corral so she can't come out of this area. Okay, well, we put this chair over there so she can't get behind the couch. And because my chair that I usually sit in is not here, I'll sit in the recliner, which I don't always sit in this chair, but a lot of times I'm sitting in this chair. But anyway, I'll sit in the recliner. The recliner's a rocker too, so she'll just be playing in the floor. Sometimes I sit in the floor with her too. But anyway, back to the recliner. I'll sit in the recliner and she'll come over to me, and I know whenever she comes over to me and does certain things, she wants to get in my lap. So I'll pick her up, put her in my lap, and if she reaches for the blanket, I know it's nap time. Because if she wants the blanket, it's time to go sleepy time. It is so adorable. Which, I mean, I held my kids all the time. I held them. I mean, people say, put that baby down, you're going to spoil it. You can't spoil a baby. You can't spoil a child by holding and loving them. You just can't. I don't care what anybody says, nobody's going to change my mind. I have held lots of babies. I have snuggled and held them and loved on them. And not one of them has been spoiled yet by that. Not one. You can spoil a child, but they have to be older to do it. But yeah, because there's a point where that child is going to want to get down and run. They're not going to want to be in your lap all the time. That's just how it goes. So my opinion is hold that baby while you can, because later they're going to be gone. They ain't going to want to be in your lap. But anyway, she'll crawl up in my lap and snuggle up, and she'll go to sleep, and it's a cute little thing. She's so sweet. But so yeah, I had her yesterday, which y'all know that, and I'll have her again Wednesday is what it's supposed to be, unless something changes. So yeah, I don't know why I'm talking about all that, but I am. But anyway, I got my Saturday chores mostly done, like my bedding stuff. I haven't washed Noah's yet, but sometimes he does it himself, so it may not even be me doing it. Sometimes I just go ahead and do it because I want to get it out of the way, because my theory is if I want to use the washing machine, I don't want somebody else's stuff in it. So I'll go ahead and do it myself. Which Jeff and Noah both, which, I mean, here's the thing. It's not like wrong for Noah to have the clothes in the washer. I don't care. But I don't want him to be in my way. I know that sounds crazy, probably, maybe. I don't know, you may feel the same way. But yeah, so I go ahead and do it for him. And he's appreciative of it. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Where was I going with that? I don't know. I don't know where I'm going today at all. But yeah, last night I had a good back. My back was feeling fine. My back's feeling all right today. I mean, it's like the normal pain, not the extreme. But my back's feeling fine right now. I got the dishes done, and I got the clothes folded, got the others in the dryer. So I don't know what else I'm doing today other than supper, because I don't have anything else that I need. There is something that I've been thinking about doing, but I haven't figured out how I want to do it. Okay, since we stopped buying all those processed store-bought things, we have quite a few little canisters over there. And I'm thinking about taking those canisters, washing them up real good, and like seeing what else I can use them for. That's something I already have, like maybe some kind of noodle, or I don't know. But there's several canisters over there that I really don't need over there, I think. I don't know really, because like one of the things that we used it for is animal crackers. You know, I couldn't get any of those yesterday. Jeff likes to have animal crackers around still. We've had them around since, I mean, we babysat children since before we ever had kids. That was just something we did. But we've always had animal crackers around, and up until the middle of last month, the middle of February. So it's been almost a month that we didn't have any. But yeah, that's the only canister that I know of that's empty because of that kind of situation. So I don't know. I'm trying to think of what I want to do over there, because I'm not buying those things anymore. So I don't know. I guess I'll have to wait and see. Before, I don't want to change anything until I know. You know, it's that kind of thing. But anyway, I'm going to go. I've been sitting here blabbing for 11 minutes. So I'm going to go for now, and I may not see y'all again until supper, because I don't know what else I'm doing. But if I do something that I feel like is shareable, I'll pick up the camera. Okay guys, so I'm about to get started on the cozy chicken and dumplings. This is one that I got from Fallon from Moss Family TV. We've been making it for a while. Anyway, I'll leave the link to this down below, but it came from Tasty, tasty.com. It's just called Cozy Chicken and Dumplings. So I'm going to go ahead. I've got my Dutch oven. It's not really the Dutch oven, but it's actually the Dutch oven of these pots is what it was considered. I don't know. Anyway, I've got that over there, and I'm about to cut up my chicken breast. It calls for more than what I'm using, but that's okay. I'm using what I have. I actually should have taken it out a little bit earlier, and because it's still a little bit frozen, but that's all right too. Actually, I find that meat usually cuts a little bit better if it's slightly frozen. And yes, I'm using the same cutting board for everything that I'm cutting today because it's all going in the pot. It's not a big deal to me. You don't fall off. But as soon as the pot gets to the right temperature, I'm going to put in some oil. I'm going to use, it says vegetable oil, but I'm using avocado oil just because that's what I'm using. I have used olive oil. It's just whatever you want to use. Anyway, I got quiet. I'm sorry. I'm concentrating on cutting this chicken up. It's a process to make these dumplings. There's several steps, like, well, there's just things you have to do a little bit different than you would with other dumplings that I've made before. And that's alright. I'm going to just go ahead and put this back on the plate. Wash my hands, that way I can get that done. Pull my sleeves up, they're driving me batty. Okay, so this, it's not where I need it yet, so I'm gonna let it sit there and be cooling off. Cooling off? Heating up. And while that's heating up, I'm gonna go ahead and peel my carrots. I have 3 here. I don't remember how many it calls for. It just calls for a cup of carrots. I'm going to go ahead and just get what I get from these. And I'm thinking about doing something that I wasn't planning on doing. No, I'm not. Noah is having some allergy issues today too. So y'all may hear him sneezing, blow his nose, you know, whatever. He's in another room. He can't help it. It's just how it is. I was going to pull out my little, what do you call it? My little dicer thing, but I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to dirty up another dish today, because that's one that I have to hand wash, and I just don't want to. Sometimes that's all it goes, is that, you know, that's what I go by, whether or not I have to hand wash it, and if I want to hand wash it or not. I've already got my onions kind of ready. I peeled them. I could have went ahead and peeled this. I could have went ahead and prepped everything. But, you know, sometimes whenever I'm watching people cook, I want to see their process. I want to see how they do things. So, I like to share that with y'all. And if you don't want to see this part, you can always fast forward through this part or speed me up. There is a little cog on YouTube down at the bottom of every video that it looks like a little gear, and all you do is click on that and you can change the speed of a video. And I don't have a problem with y'all doing that. In fact, I tell you how to do it in the description box of every one of my videos, at least in the last year or so, a little over a year. I do have a little thing over here to put my little scraps in. I'm gonna, well, maybe not. Maybe I can't get it off my hand. I'll cut the ends off of this, and then I'm gonna chop them up And like I said, everything is going to be going in the pot. Nothing is going to be raw. So it doesn't matter to me that I cut that chicken on this board. I know some people might think that that's, you know, bad. It's cross-contamination. Well, if it's cross-contamination, it's going to be cross-contaminated straight in that pot. I'm not eating any of this raw. So, and I wouldn't let somebody come in here and grab one of these carrots that I'm cutting right now and eat it just right now, because there was raw chicken on here. Now, if I had not cut anything except vegetables on here, I wouldn't care. But since I have cut raw chicken on this board, I will not allow, which nobody's going to come in here and grab it anyway. They sometimes do. I sometimes have a snack of it, but not today. There's no sense in messing up another, in my opinion, another board or knife. Now, I know these dumplings are different than what most people are used to. Nobody in my family has ever put any vegetables in their dumplings that I know of. And there's, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 vegetables, I think, in this. There's carrot, onion, garlic, and peas. So yeah, nobody in my family has ever done anything like that. Growing up, dumplings were not made like this. That's just the way it was. Alright, I'm going to put that to that side. I'll go ahead and cut these little ends off of this. And I will end up with a little more onion than what it calls for, but as y'all know, we love onion. We don't mind. Maybe should have gotten another cutting board out and got my really big wooden one out to put all the vegetables on here easily, because I may not be able to do it exactly like I would like. I'm not even sure that anybody in my family would eat dumplings like this, like with the way I do them now. But I don't want them any other way anymore. I just don't like them any other way. Not anymore, I don't. And I don't mean the family that lives here. I mean extended family. Ooh, that's a strong onion. This is left over from something else. I don't remember what I did with it. It was from another day. And it was in the refrigerator, so I just grabbed it out and decided to go for it. And like I said, there's going to be more than needed. There's also going to be more garlic than needed in here too. But that's just how I'm doing it. Alright, let me wash my hands again and see if this pot's warm enough. If it is, I'm going to go ahead and get my oil in it and my chicken in there. Oh goodness. This is a new bottle. Might be a little too hot. Let me get this chicken in there. Okay, y'all, I didn't realize that my battery had died. I used my little garlic rocker to do this garlic, and I put some of that bouillon paste into here, and I'm about to take up the chicken. So I'm going to move y'all around on the other side so y'all can see more of what I'm doing. Alright, maybe that'll work. Kind of, sort of, maybe, I don't know. Anyways, I was about to start taking this up whenever I noticed that the battery had died. But I put 6 teaspoons of that bouillon paste into, I actually let this cook a little bit more than what I expected, but I don't care. I mean, I say that I don't care all the time. Y'all just know that I mean I don't mind. think that'll be good cooked like that. I'm putting my onion and carrot in there. If I can pick it up. And I'm going to let it cook some. And yes, this is more onion than what it needs. But that's alright. Like I said, we love onion, and that's what we choose to do. Is have a little extra sometimes. Most of the time. And I don't know what I had said that y'all missed, but maybe there's not much that's important. If there was anything, I'll just put it on the screen. But anyway, I'm going to let this cook for a few minutes, and then I'm going to put the garlic in, and after the garlic goes in, I'm going to let it cook for a little bit. Then I'm going to reduce the temperature just a little bit, and I'm going to add the flour and butter that I'm supposed to add, and then let that make a roux is what you're kind of doing. Well, I guess that's exactly what you're doing, isn't it? Anyway, trying to get all this bouillon off of here, off this thing. We'll put it in a dishwasher. Now, the dumplings, it says to make them pretty big, but I make them a little bit smaller than what it says. But we'll get to the making the dumpling part in a minute, in a few minutes, after we get this part going a little bit more. But I want this to cook for just a few minutes, let it get tender. It smells so good in here. Just carrots and onions smell good cooking. I don't know why, it just does. The chicken smells good too, though. Maybe I'm hungry. That could be it. Okay. And I'm going to have to get my heavy whipping cream out in a minute, too. But there's a hair on my finger. That's not a good thing. But I'll get it out right before I need it. I'm going to cut my butter into some smaller pieces so that whenever I put it in, maybe it'll melt faster, because I don't want it in one big lump. And I won't keep this butter wrapper, and the reason why is because I should have just put the butter on a plate or something and then saved it, but I don't know if I might have got chicken juice or something on it, so I'm not going to keep it. Even though I would be using it for something I'm cooking, I'm just not going to do it. Because I'm real careful about that part. I had shown y'all how that I do my garlic. Instead of like putting my, I'm getting a new towel. Instead of putting my knife down on my garlic clove and hitting my knife, I just crush my garlic clove with the heel of my hand. Not crush it completely, but a little bit, so that that way it's just more, it's safer. I feel safer doing it that way than the way I see a lot of people do it by putting their knife down on the garlic clove and then just whacking the knife. I don't feel safe doing that. To each his own, let them do it the way they want to do it, but I just don't. Okay. I think it's time for the garlic, so I'm going to put that in. a little bit of onion left here. I'm going to put this in a dishwasher. Alright, I'm going to stir this around just a little bit. Let that garlic get in there. It smells so good. It's going to really start smelling real good once we put the butter in. I want to clean this area up some with an antibacterial wipe because I don't think I got chicken anywhere, but I want to make sure before I start moving my stuff around. This is not perfect cleaning. This is just like in between cleaning kind of thing. Because I do want to move my seasonings and stuff over to get closer to me. And I shouldn't have done what I just did. I'm going to have to get new ones of these because I put them on the butter wrapper and I need to put them in the things. Oh boy. And I can wash them and use them, but I'd have to dry them. And I've got another set, so I'm just going to get the others. It'll be alright. I just shouldn't have done what I did. I'm going to grab these plastic ones and sit them over here behind y'all. Alright, so now I'm going to put in the butter. And I need, alright. Well, how much is that? 6 tablespoons. 2 tablespoons to 1/8 of a cup. Why not just put 3/8 of a cup? I don't know. I guess because people don't measure like that. So I'm going to put the flour in. It's all-purpose flour. Should have measured it before I did this. Alright, I'm going to leave this over here because I'll need it again. And I'm going to leave the other over there too. Now I've got to stir this. It says stir it constantly for a minute to let that all make like a roux, like a ball of yummy. And I need my recipe. I need it over here so I can read it. Turn it down a little bit. It's supposed to be stirring it constantly. Alright, I think that's where it needs to be though, because it's gotten into a clump. You don't want it to burn, but you do want that flour to cook some. And I'm about to deglaze the pan. Alright, what should I add first? The chicken broth. Alright. So I'm going to add this. And then I'll get my other in a minute. My, what do you call that stuff? My heavy whipping cream. You get all that out of there because I need it. I need all that flavor. Okay. I will will put that in the dishwasher, but for a second I'm going to put it in the sink. Stir that around some. Okay, so I've got the chicken broth. Now I'm going to put the heavy whipping cream. Let's see, how much is it I need in this part? Alright. Close refrigerator. Can I open it? What in the world? Noah! Never mind. Call your name and it works. That's hard to open. Alright. I'm going to leave that out because I am going to need it in just a minute to make the dumpling part. But I'm going to put it in here. Get all of it out that I can. And no, this is not a low-calorie food. This is a comfort food, which is what we've been seeming to have a lot this week. That's what seems to happen whenever I let Noah pick. He likes the comfort foods. He likes lots of foods. Alright, so we got that, and now we're going to put in our thyme and bay leaves. So we need 2 bay leaves. I never would have thought to put a leaf in a food. But then again, you do every time you put herbs. And the thyme. Now, one way, I don't know if this is the right amount or not. That just does not seem like it's. That's it. I'm going to have to get other. I don't know how to read those things. I want to see if I would have been right if I would have used that one. So let's see. Which one was it I was going to use? The green one? I think it was the green one. Yeah, it would have been right. Okay. I would have been using the right one. I'd rather dirty up another one, though, than to get it wrong. But I never would have thought to put leaves. But then herbs are leaves, you know. So I got those 2 things in there. And I need to put in... Seems like... Let's see. Okay. Okay, let me see. That's it in there. And I need to just let it come to a simmer. And while that's happening, while this is doing its thing, coming to the simmer. Oh, no, that is not it. We need the chicken back in there. With all the juices that it might have. Oh, just get it all over yourself. That's a good idea. I'm taking a shower after supper anyways. Now that's what's supposed to go in there. Alright, so over here, I'm going to bring y'all back over to this side so we can do the actual dumplings. These are like little drop dumplings. They're not like could you come off? Maybe. Oh, you know what? Silicone to this rescue again. Alright, let me get you back over here. I feel like I'm so discombobulated now. Because I don't know what I'm saying. Don't know what I have said. Don't know what I'm going to say. Anyway, these dumplings are not the kind you roll out. That's what I'm trying to say. And whenever Fallon did it, she put her parsley into the dumplings, even though I don't think that's the way you're supposed to do it. Let me see, let me make sure. No, you're not supposed to do that. That's what she did, so that's what I'm going to do, but I'm using dried parsley. I think the same thing she did, so I'm going to use less parsley than what the recipe calls for, like half the amount, so I'll be right back. Alright, so now we're going to put in our all-purpose flour, and I'm going to try to get it as close as possible to the right amount. If it's a little bit off, that's alright, because I'm not using an actual level thing. The last one I'll put a little bit less. Alright, so that's all the flour we need. And now I'm going to grab my parsley because I didn't grab it. Where you at, parsley? There you are. Ooh, not much left in here. I gotta refill that. Alright, so I'm gonna get me some baking powder, and I need a tablespoon of that, so that's 3 teaspoons, so I'm just gonna use this. And then salt. I'm not gonna put this into the salt thing because it has flour and baking powder on it. Okay. Might be a little shy of the amount, but there's plenty of salt in this from the other stuff. Sorry for banging. And then the pepper, I almost did the same thing. I almost got the exact amount. There we go. And then in some parsley. I know I'm getting over, but I'm just kind of measuring. I'm not trying to exactly do this. You know, it doesn't matter. We're out. I have to refill that. That's all we got. I'm not going to worry about doing it right now, though. It's not going to hurt anything to be a little bit. Okay. So now I need to put in the heavy whipping cream. I don't know why I put that over there, because I can use it. And yes, I'm going to use this to get that out of there with. Because why not? Stir that around a little bit. Hello? Nobody's home. That's not true. I'm busy. Alright, so now all you do is just mix this up. And I think I'm just going to use this spatula thing because I think it'll be better. I don't know. I could be wrong. I need to clean my workspace, so I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm going to get you down here a little bit more. I want you to be able to see both things, which I'm not doing anything with that yet, but I'm just going to mix this together. I had to get my sleeves rolled up. That's another one of the problems I was having. Remind me to never wear these pajamas on a day I'm cooking. I don't think I've ever cooked in them before. I know I haven't. Anyway, I'm going to mix this together, and, oh, bumping you all around, sorry. Anyway, you're supposed to mix it together. I may have to just use my hands. I usually do. But you get it to where it's just just a single mass of dough. Like if it was a big old biscuit. We'll put that in the dishwasher. But that's what I want. That's my goal, is to get this like a big old biscuit. And then it says to use a large, like an ice cream or large ice cream scoop or large spoon or something like that. I don't do that. I just pinch off some. Now I have done it that way, but I just pinch off a little bit and drop it in. It doesn't matter if you do it any. I mean, you got more uniform sizes if you do it the other way, but it doesn't matter. But that has not. I mean, it's coming to a simmer, but it's not where I want it yet. So I've got to wait until that gets where I want it before I start doing this. And I could use one of my little cookie scoops, yeah. But I don't know. I may, just to show y'all the proper way to do it. But like I said, we like smaller dumplings than what it calls for. What it calls for is like big ones, and then you have like 1 or 2 per person, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But somehow it just seems to taste better to me to have it the other way. To have smaller ones that you don't have to cut up. Alright, so that's the way you want it to look. Like a big old biscuit. It smells so good. Alright, there we go. I'm just going to put this back in the bowl. And I'll just get my cookie scoop so I can show y'all. Alright, I'm going to stir this around a little bit. I want those onions and carrots cooked. So let me check a carrot, because that's what's going to take the longest. But I want those cooked through, because you don't want them to be raw or anything. Are you cooked? Let me see. Put it on that. Oh goodness. Let me get this out of the way. No, not quite. I'm going to let it cook for just a little bit. I'm going to let it simmer for a little while, and I'll come back whenever I think that's ready to go. Okay guys, I forgot to do something very important. I forgot to put the peas in, but that's alright. They'll get cooked through. This is probably going to be more than what's needed, but I'm putting them in there because it doesn't matter. We love them. See how many beautiful colors are in there? So I'm going to let them cook for a minute, and then I'm going to start putting these in. And this is going to have to cook for 15 minutes after it goes in here. So I'm going to let this cook for just a minute though. That's why I said if the chicken, which actually my chicken, like I said, got a little bit more done than what it was supposed to. But that's alright. But this is why I was saying the chicken would get fully cooked, because you're cooking it here probably about 15 minutes, letting it simmer for the after you put the liquids in, and then you're going to let it simmer for another 15 minutes with this. So I'm going to let that cook for just a minute while I find my little scoop. There it is. I'm trying to find the right one. All of them are in that drawer, but I want the smallest one. And this right here will be the last step. It says to make sure that they're not touching. Sometimes that doesn't happen. Sometimes they touch anyway. And I need to get the lid for this pan because I don't have it. I don't always cover it up, but it says to cover it. But you let it cook with the bay leaves in it but then you take the bay leaves out before you eat it. So let me see if I can find that lid real quick. Okay, so I've got my lid over here, and I've got, this is where I need it to be. And I'm going to start putting this in, and all I'm going to do is get little bits like that and drop them in. That's all I do. They're not perfect. They're not supposed to be, in my opinion. They're rustic. That one's not the full thing. They will puff up though, because they have the baking powder in them. Did I even tell you I was putting baking powder in them? I think I did. I don't know. But yeah, they'll puff up. This is why I don't love using cookie scoops and stuff, because they do get caught like that. Let me just do it like this. It feels more natural to do it like this. But I'm going to put these in and let this cook for 15 minutes. And there is something else that always inevitably happens whenever I make this. There's always more broth than there is dumpling. And I end up making like a chicken noodle out of it the next day or something like that. It always happens. With the leftover broth, I'll just put egg noodles in it. And Noah will eat it for lunch and stuff like that. It always happens. I think that's one reason he likes it, because he knows he's going to get 2 yummy meals out of it. Maybe. I don't know. Or 2 different, similar yummy meals. They're going to be the same, but different. Ooh, goodness. Give me that. Scooch over. And if they stick together, you can always just cut them apart. It's not a big deal. We don't care if they stick together. It is easy to get out of here. It just always gets stuck. Let me stir this around a little bit. I don't want to disturb them too much because I want them to stay together until they're done. Because they will fall apart if you mess with them too much. At least that's my experience. A good thing to do would be go ahead and make your dumplings up and then just drop them all in, like, instead of having to do what I'm doing. But I always say that, but I never do it. Because while I was waiting on the broth part to get ready, I could have easily went ahead and scooped these, but I didn't. Let me scoop some of these around. Drop it down at the bottom. It's getting very full in there. So I need to make some space. I plopped that one a little hard, but nobody got hurt in the process. And they are starting to merge smushed together quite a bit. Alright, so I'm going to let these cook for the 15 minutes, and I will come back and show you the finished product. Right now they got to go to bed. Okay, so for some reason the dumplings kind of fell apart this time, but that's alright. They're still going to be good. They just be like a little thicker than normal. My phone is going off now. I don't know why. Anyways, this is what it looks like, and that is supper for, I don't know what day it is, 77 or something, for the Eat at Home challenge. I don't know how much longer we're going to do it, but anyway, there we go. Okay, I said I was going to show you all the picture, which I can't really do because there's a bunch of glare, but that's the frame. I think it turned out alright. There's so much glare though, and I don't know how to make that change, but anyway, I like the frame. Okay, so the dumplings were good. We have leftovers, of course. Jeff's not taking that to work tonight because he's going to be working in a different spot, but normally he would take something like that to work with him, but either way it's fine. We have to cook those pork chops tomorrow because of already taking them out and they're thawed, but we may end up Monday having leftovers. I don't know yet, we'll see, because we have leftover lasagna and then we have dumplings left, so we'll see what happens. But anyway, that's all I have for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, go ahead and do all the YouTube things. If you didn't, do them anyway. You might like something we do later. Most importantly, let me know down below how you're doing in the comment section, or leave me a comment. And remember, don't take any wooden nickels, and be sweet.